Hello BookTube, my name is Adrian and welcome back to my channel. So December is over, which means so is 2017, which is kind of ridiculous. But that also means that it is time for me to show you my December wrap-up. So let's go ahead and get into the statistics for what I read in December. In December, I read a total of 6 books, which was a total of 2,086 pages. Of those 6 books, the star ratings I gave them were 1 book I gave 3 stars, 2 books I gave 4 stars, 2 books I gave 4.5 stars, and 1 book I gave 5 stars. Because December ending also meant that 2017 was ending, that means I also completed my GoodReads goal, and the total number of books that I wanted to read in 2017 was 75, and I ended up reading 90 books, which is amazing. I'm super proud of the reading I did, not just in December, but in the entire year, and so hopefully I will be able to do just as well, if not better, in the coming year, because I hopefully won't be so sick for a good chunk of the year. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get into the books that I read in the month of December. I'm going to be telling you about these in star rating order from lowest to highest. So the first book on that list is my 3-star read, which was My True Love Gave to Me, which is an anthology of 12 short stories written by various authors. Overall, I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars, which is my standard rating for anthologies, just because there are some I really enjoyed and some I didn't enjoy so much. And so if you want a full breakdown by story of what I gave each one, I will link my GoodReads review down below so you can go and check that out, and on there I have what I rated each story individually, so you can kind of see what stories I liked versus which ones I didn't like. So overall this was a 3-star, just because it averaged out. A few of them I liked, a few of them I didn't like, and one of them I actually DNF'd. Now let's move on to my 4-star reads. The first one I read was a reread, which was Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I read this book in December 2 years ago in 2015, and at the time I really enjoyed it, and I still really enjoyed it this time. Yeah, Outlander I ended up giving 4 out of 5 stars. I still enjoyed it like I did the first time, but I don't know, there was something different about it this time around. But I reread it in preparation to read the next 2 books in the series, Dragonfly and Amber and Voyager, because if you saw my 2018 goals video, one of the things I want to do is to complete all of the audiobooks that I currently have on my phone in 2018, and I have the audiobooks of Dragonfly and Amber and Voyager, and because it had been so long since I read Outlander, I wanted to go ahead and reread Outlander and kind of get a feel for where that ended, because I had started Dragonfly and Amber back 2 years ago, and I didn't get very far into it before I stopped. So I want to get through those 2 books this year, and I wanted a refresher on Outlander. So I reread Outlander. The other 4-star read I had in the month of December was The Star-Touched Queen by Roshani Chosky. I'm positive I butchered that name, I'm so sorry. I really don't know what this book is about, even though I read it and gave it 4 stars. I have zero memory of this book, other than the fact that it is about one of the many daughters of the king, who her horoscope has deemed that any man who marries her will die, I believe. So she has like this really bad horoscope that's affecting like her life. That's all I remember from this book. I don't remember anything else. So I feel like one thing I'm gonna have to do is in the new year I need to reread it, because everybody really loves this book, and I gave it 4 stars, but I don't remember anything about it. So that is it for my 4-star reads. So let's go ahead and move into my 4.5-star reads. The first book I read that was 4.5 stars was Kiss Me in New York by Catherine Ryder. This is actually the pen name for 2 authors who write together, and those authors are Stephanie Elliott and James Noble. I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars because I really did enjoy it. This book is about a girl named Charlotte who is British, and on New Year's Eve she's trying to catch a flight home for Christmas from New York, and she ends up having a freak snowstorm and all of the flights are canceled, and so she is stranded in the airport, and she ends up, through a horrible series of events, meeting Anthony, who was literally just dumped by his girlfriend in the airport, and the 2 of them decide to take this book that they have that is How to Get Over Your Ex in 10 Easy Steps, and go through the steps and see what happens. I give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars instead of a full 5 stars because I really enjoyed it and it was really cute, but there's just something about it that it wasn't perfect, and I didn't give it a perfect rating, but I still really enjoyed it and definitely would recommend this one if you are looking for a cute, short, little, sweet, fluffy, Christmassy read. The next book I also gave 4.5 out of 5 stars, and that is What Light by J. Asher. This is about a girl named Sierra who lives on a Christmas tree farm in Oregon, and from Thanksgiving to Christmas every year, her family packs up and moves down to California to open a Christmas tree lot where they sell their Christmas trees that they grow. This year when they go, she ends up meeting a boy named Caleb who has kind of a questionable history, and there are lots of rumors about horrible things happening that he's done. And she ends up becoming very close with him, and they kind of have to start dealing with people's conceptions about him, forgiveness, things like that. It was a really, really good book, and I loved this book a lot. Most of the book I thought I was going to give it 5 stars, but when I finished it, it was a great story. It had a good ending. I really enjoyed it, but there was just something missing from it that I just couldn't give it a 5 stars. So I gave it the next closest thing. I gave it 4.5 stars because, like I said, there was just something missing from the story for me, and I can't even pinpoint what it was. And then the last book I read in the month of December was my 5-star read, and that is Love, Life, and the List by Casey West. This book came out on December 26th, and I finished it on December 31st, but that's just because I didn't start it until December 30th. So there's that. But I really loved this book so much. I think this is probably one of my new favorite Casey West novels. I don't know that it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there. So this book actually put me in a little bit of a book hangover. Fortunately, it was the last day of the month, so it wasn't that big a deal. But it gave me a little bit of a book hangover, and now all I want to do is reread all of Casey West novels, which might be what I do to start out the new year. This book is about a girl named Abby who is an artist, and her art ends up being turned down to go into this art show because it is not mature enough. And so she decides that over the course of the summer, before the art expo that she wants to get into, she is going to create a list that will give her more depth and make her more mature so that her art can be more mature. And on this list include things like Fall in Love or In Face of Fear, things like that. Her best friend Cooper, who she is actually in love with, has agreed to help her with this list. And it is a fabulous book. It is so cute, and I really, really loved it. So definitely recommend this book. So there you have it, guys. That is everything that I read in the month of December. I hope you guys had a great reading month in December to close out your year, and I hope you are having a great start to your 2018. If you have read any of these books, and I would love to hear what your thoughts on them were, and I would also love to know what you guys are starting out the year reading. For me, I'm currently reading 3 Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, which is really good and really confusing. I need a flowchart for these characters, but it is so good. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.